Yeah, so do this one and do this one and do this. Awesome. Wow. Welcome everyone to the Empowerment Moment with Dr. G. It's yours truly coming once again to kind of speak to everyone. It's been the month of February is a month of love. It's the month of love. Is the month that we get to celebrate what's it 2023, right? And hopefully you've had a great month so far. I have. I am super excited to announce that officially I am a parent of all adult children.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So my youngest one just turned 18 this month on February 14th. So officially I am liberated. So I think it's I'm in a season of life that when you tell the kids, hey, you guys are now on your own, you can go ahead and do whatever you want to do. And they're like, I don't think so. I told my youngest one, I'm like, yeah, now you can pay bills. So go ahead and do it. But no, on a serious note, I'm just incredibly blessed. And if you're listening to me out there, I hope you're blessed also. Welcome to the month of love. Welcome to the exciting year. And there's hopefully more to come. So I'm Dr. G, and continuing this program called Empowerment Moment. I was just in a classroom with a bunch of some social work students, got invited to kind of share a little bit about my story and my journey. And I was sharing with them that it's almost like this program has a way of enlightening me and encouraging me to keep going. When I, start to think about all the things that can go wrong, I start to think about all the amazing families that I've met and continue to engage with and talk to because of this journey. And so I was sharing with them that there is a poem. I don't know, Anna, if you've heard of this poem. It's called Welcome to Holland. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. If not, I'm just going to read it. And I was going to read that later, but I think I want to start with that first. And then I will share what I've been meditating on. And, one of the reasons why I do this program is really, A, to share my faith. Two, to really just remind people that no matter what we're going through, there is a source of hope, a source of inspiration, a source of power, so a source of soundness of mind. All those things comes from the creator, the greatest creator of all the universe. And he's called the God our Father, and his amazing son Jesus died on the cross for you and I. And because of him, I have hope, and I have confidence that even if something happens to me tomorrow, I know I'm assured of an eternal life. That is my faith. I'm standing on it. I'm holding on to it. And if you ever wanted to know what gets this woman going, that's it. That's the secret. So that's the secret sauce. But beyond that, let's tell you some other things that will continue to empower you. But really, really the core of life and its meaning comes from that faith. And so I share my faith, and then I share information. I share stories. I share things that would inspire us, that would encourage us, that will motivate us. That's the goal. But foundationally, I want you to really have a hope. And that is really, really crucial as you walk this journey of life. So that's how this empowerment moment comes in. I share some of the things I'm meditating on, I'm praying about, or reflecting on. And I hope that kind of kicks it in and inspires you and empowers you to keep going. So this story is a poem by this author called Emily Kinsley. And if some of you who have been on the journey have heard of it before, but the poem is called Welcome to Holland. Welcome to Holland. And it really is just this simple, that and the author says something to the effect of, I'm often asked to describe the experience of raising a child with disability, in other words, a child with special healthcare needs, to try to help people who have not shared that unique experience to understand it, and to imagine how it will feel. So she's writing the story, this poem, to say, let me share with those who don't have this privilege of caring for a loved one that have special healthcare needs. And it is like this. When you're going to have a baby, it is like planning a fabulous vacation trip to Italy. You buy a bunch of guidebooks and you make your wonderful plans. You think about going to the Colosseum, seeing the Michelangelo David, the gondolas in Venice. You may even learn some handy phrases in Italian. It is all very exciting. After months of anticipation, the day finally arrives. You pack your bags and off you go to the airport through security. I'm embellishing my part. Through security, you have your passport, you're all giddy. And several hours later, after you got on the plane lands and the flight attendant comes in, and overhead, you hear, welcome to Holland. Holland? How did I get on the wrong plane? You say, what do you mean, Holland? I signed up to go to Italy. I am supposed to be in Italy. All my life, I have dreamt of going to Italy. But there's been a change in the flight plan. They have landed in Holland, and there you must stay. The important thing is that they haven't necessarily taken you to a horrible, disgusting, filthy place. A place full of pestilence, famine, disease. Holland is not like that. It's just a different place. So you must go out and buy new guidebooks. You must learn a whole new language. And you must meet a whole new group of people you would never have met. Holland is just a different place. It's slower paced than Italy. But after you've been there for a while, you catch your breath, you look around, and you begin to notice that Holland has windmills. Holland has tulips. Holland even has Rembrandts. But everyone you know is busy going and coming from Italy. And they all are bragging about what a wonderful time they have had there. And for the rest of your life, you will say, yes, that's where I was supposed to go. That's what I had planned. And the pain of that, not getting to Italy, never, ever, ever goes away. Because of that dream is a very, very significant loss. However, but if you spend your life mourning the fact that you didn't get to go to Italy, you may never be free to enjoy the very special and the very lovely things about Holland. That's the point. And if you think about it for a minute, this author was using the illustration of having a child with special needs, like when you were pregnant and you were preparing, you thought everything was going to line up the way you think it would. But some way, somehow, it didn't go the way as planned. It requires you to have to work twice as hard. It requires you to have to seek books, read books, go online, join Facebook groups, join support groups, connect to families. But the beauty about this is that you become more knowledgeable, become more resilient, you become more eager to look for new solutions, things you never would have done if things had just been norm. Sometimes I know some people call me like, oh, you're a force to be reckoned with. I didn't have a choice. because guess what? If I sat back, I would cry all the time. And that's not what God created me for. He created me to seek, to know more, to learn more, and more above all, to seek his face concerning the individual he's given me to raise. And that's kind of what that author was using as an illustration. If you're spending time mourning the fact that you never got to go to Italy, you will never appreciate the beauty of the place you are in, the Holland that you have, right? Netherlands is probably the way that people know Holland as, the beauty of going to a place that's different, maybe slower pace, but it's not worse. And that's really what it feels like in raising. But the point there in our story is this: for those of us who have to walk a different lifestyle, there is a part of us that sometimes will think otherwise. If somebody doesn't tell you that nothing like that, you're lying to you, no matter how. That's my personal opinion. Because you want things to be easier. We all do. But if you're to have to care for someone that requires that extra support, there are days that you're going to be tired. But thank God for grace. Thank God for grace. So that was a story that I thought about this evening. I was like, so you can Google it, Welcome to Holland. That's the story. And it just gives the meaning of the importance of, if things doesn't go the way you thought it would go, it's not the end of the world. You can go in a different direction. And that leads me to the real topic that I wanted to share tonight. I wanted to talk about. So if you're watching me on Facebook, thank you for hanging out with me here. Part of that whole bit is really to continue to empower each other, empower one another. And that's the reason why God has given me this assignment. And I'm really, really all about making sure that one of the things that we get to do is tell our stories out there to families. So I wanted to share this story tonight, but beyond that, also to remind you that it's important to not get stuck where you are, but move beyond where you're stuck. So I was doing a devotional, and that's the theme that the author had, is like going beyond being stuck, or moving beyond being stuck. And the point here is that, think about it. Have you ever gotten lost while you were trying to go to a friend's house, but then you're lost? You're like, okay, let me just call them and get a better direction on how to get to where I am. I don't know about you, but I can have the map on my phone, or I can even be listening to GPS, and I still manage to take the wrong turn, right? Or distractions will come along the way, so you miss your turn. That's how it is sometimes in life. We can miss our turn. The things that we've planned doesn't go the way it is. So the goal here is that when we miss our turn, or we don't go the way we need to go, we need to ask for directions. We need to ask for help. We need to admit that, we need something. But for some of us, asking for help can feel very uncomfortable. So the goal of one of the things I wanted to encourage us tonight is, it may feel like you don't know which way to go. It is okay to ask for help. Let's choose to swallow our pride. Let's choose to be vulnerable with people and admit that we need help. And the same is true for our faith. We're on a journey to a destination that we really can't wrap our minds around. And all we need is a little direction, little point along the way. But sometimes we allow ourselves to get so distracted because we took a wrong turn, or you had a false start, or maybe you didn't stay long enough to deal with that situation. Either way, we can get stuck in our mindset thinking, how could I have done this? Maybe if I had not, done X, Y, and Z, things wouldn't have gone this way. And instead of acknowledging that, yes, we made a mistake, we allow that to prevent us from moving forward and moving beyond and accessing the things that we need. And that's one of the things I wanted to encourage us today is, don't get stuck in the past. Don't get stuck in what could have been, what may have been, but let's look to move to the future. And sometimes being stuck is not because you did anything wrong per se, but because you just feel like, I don't even know what else to do. Then not knowing what else to do, sometimes we may look at it as being weak, but it's not weakness. In that weakness, the Bible says God makes us strong. The other piece also to think about is when we feel like we don't know what to do or where to go, it is okay to acknowledge that and be vulnerable with people. When we are able to let others in, we experience our breakthrough the fastest because others can carry you along the way. You know, when we acknowledge that we have made a mistake and we confess it or we share with others, it allows light to come in and allows us to be restored. It allows us to go beyond where we are right now. So I want you to take a step back and say, have I been just relying on my own effort? And because I'm relying on my own effort, I'm not able to move and do new things. That's one of the things I wanted to encourage us tonight with. And if you're home, you're listening to me, and you kind of have been feeling a little overwhelmed with some issues that are going on with you, rather than allowing that to weigh you down, let's make a decision. I want you to make a decision tonight. You're just going to say, I am going to look around, identify two people that you're going to say, I'm going to use as my accountability people, my left and my right, two people. And I want you to text them tonight. I want you to reach out to them tonight and say, I want you to know I was thinking about you, and I'm asking you to hold me accountable. If you see me struggling, you see me distracted, you see me stuck, please knock on my door and let me know that I'm not alone. Because sometimes we need that nudge. So if you're listening to me and you know that you could be an accountability for somebody, partner for somebody, please offer it and, text them and say, hey, I want you to know that I'm here for you if you need me. There's somebody who has caring for a loved one, say with Alzheimer's, caring for a family member that's struggling. Be their accountability partner, be their encourager. And if you're listening to me and you're also feeling like, right now I'm just overwhelmed, I can't connect to what I need to do next, I want to just offer you a word of prayer. In one of the books in the Bible is called James, and the book of in chapter 5, verse 13, it says, if there's anyone among you who is in trouble, let them pray. If is anyone unhappy, let them sing songs of praise. If there's anyone among you who is sick, let them call the elders of the church to pray over them and anoint them in the name of the Lord. And the prayer offered in faith will make the sick person well. The Lord will raise them up. And if you have sinned, they will be forgiven. Therefore, confess your sins to each other and pray for each other so you may be healed. The prayer of a righteous person is powerful and it's effective. So if you're listening to me and you've just been feeling overwhelmed, I just release the blessing of the Lord for you right now, that you have the peace of God that surpasses all human understanding, that your heart and mind are in Christ, and that you have peace in every way. And I also release a blessing upon your family, that in this season, you know that you're not stuck because you are surrounded by people who love you and care about you. So don't get stuck. Don't remain stuck. Ask for help and you will receive the help. Have you ever felt for a moment that you're like, I don't even know where to start? I've been there. I don't even know where to begin. And do you know that that's the moment somebody will send you a text, for me, and say, hey, I was thinking about you. I was driving this morning and a friend texted me. It's like, I was thinking about you. I hope you have a great day. I was so touched by that because perhaps I was in my own head thinking that it was a big meeting that I was supposed to have. And I was thinking about it and I was just like, oh, I really don't want to be at this meeting, because sometimes the people are, service providers can be very antagonistic. And the thought of it was just overwhelming. But do you know that this was one of the smoothest meetings I had today? Because I made a mental note that I will receive the help. And the help was the person saying, I hope you have a great day. I grabbed onto that text with everything that I had. And I said, I'm going to have a great day. And I had a great meeting, because God gave me the wisdom to be quiet and not say too much. And because I kept quiet, the meeting was smooth. Normally, I would have had something to say. So what am I saying is that 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 9 says, each time, this is Apostle Paul saying, my grace is all you need. My power works best in weakness. So now I'm glad to boast about my weakness, so that the power of Christ can work through me. In my weakness, God releases his power and his strength. And that's really my word of encouragement for you tonight. You receive the strength and power that comes from God, even in your weakness. And all you got to do is reach out and say, God, I need your help. And he will send you helpers. They're called angels. Have you ever known, I remember years ago, I was on one of the major roads in New Jersey, not Garden State, was a turnpike. I was going fast. I shouldn't have gone as fast as I was. My tire blew out. And I don't even know how I got my car to come to a resting stop. And out of the blue, a man stopped behind my car. He was in a pickup truck, came, changed my tire, got in the car, and left. That's what I call an angel, obviously. My point there is that there are angels that are associated with us that will help us. And when you cry out and say, I need help, you receive it. So I hope to encourage you with that word tonight, is saying that don't get stuck. Now I'm encouraging you tonight. Don't get stuck, right? That's that's the message tonight. We don't get stuck, right?
Yes.
Absolutely. So the key thing is we move beyond. We ask for accountability partners. I said, ask for 2 people, right? So now I could be one of your people right there. I have her in the Zoom room with me. You could be one of my people tonight. And basically all we're saying is, don't get stuck. Right? Know that it's part of God's assignment for you to walk through this journey. And as you're walking through it, you're going to have helpers. So I hope this has encouraged you somewhere or the other. It's meant to be a continual point of whatever you've been given, know that there's grace to carry you through that season of life. And so coming from Dr. G here, I want to remind everyone that we have a number of programs going on. We have our arts program, our art club program. If you're in Jersey, it's coming up this Sunday at 2:00 in Roselle. Send me an email if you're interested in participating, info@mygoalinc.org. Our kids have been having an amazing time, and I'm so excited about that. The other thing I also want to tell us about is that our Bowling for Autism event, which is one of our biggest fundraising, is coming up on Sunday, April 30th. So 9, mark the date. Sunday, April 30th is going to be at the Woodbridge Bowling Center in Woodbridge, New Jersey. Really fun time. It's a great program. It's exciting. I'm super excited about that. So I hope and pray that you'll mark the date and join us. We also want to announce that we have our grant program ongoing right now. So we're accepting application for a $1,000 grant that we give to each families that's selected. Our prayer is that we're going to select 25 families that are going to receive $1,000 each, $25,000 that is going to go. And that's why we do those fundraising. because our mission and our vision is to restore hope, restore families, provide resources, create connections. And so that's part of what we are able to do. And all that resources come from donors all across the country who donate towards this program. So if you're listening to me, know that that program is available. Go on our website, mygoalinc.org, mygoalinc.org. You'll find information about our grant program. Do sign up or share the link. Let families know, because you know there are people out there, things we have funded in the past, something as simple as somebody being able to get therapy for their child, getting the basic necessities, a bed, getting medication. These are some basic things that individuals with special needs and their families have a need of. And as an organization, my goal is just to support families facing autism and other intellectual disabilities throughout their lifespan. And I'm just rejoicing that I could be a part of that, a solution. So we know that this part of our ministry and our work, I call it ministry, I call it our mission, our organization, our programs were designed by God, because you get a diagnosis, you get a challenge in life, and you can put a cover over your head, or you can do something about it. And that's what we're choosing to do. So if you're listening to me now, I love you. I appreciate you. I thank God for you. I pray for you, especially for our families. Please know we have a whole prayer team that prays. Why? Because prayer moves mountains. That's my faith. I believe it. And I invite you to be a part of that too. So on that note, I just want to say thank you for joining tonight. Hope you're blessed. And join us on Sunday, April 12th. No, March 12th. March 12th for Ask the Expert topic. We're excited for the speaker that we're going to bring. And then behind the scenes, we have programs for our families. So we want to continue to encourage you to join us. And on that note, thank you for joining this program tonight. Nai, it's good to have you in the Zoom room with me. I was like, okay, God, who are you sending me? And he sent me you. So I just want to thank God for you. You're awesome. And I just want to say, it's one of those things in life. I'm just going to highlight you for a minute so somebody doesn't think I'm really making this up. Nai, wonderful woman. I love you to pieces.
Thank you.
No, right? We just talked about who God will send us. And he sent you. And I know the last time we were talking, I was just so overwhelmed with joy when you shared the progress your son has made. And, it's those small things. We got to 20 words now. I mean, like that to me was just like, whoa, celebration time, right? Because those are things that we take for granted. So if your family out there listening to look at this beautiful woman and see how in 1 year, a lot has changed. And all it takes is perseverance, focus, persistency, go for those therapies, push through. A child that had no language now has 20 words. And that is part of God's miracle. And I know that it will happen for somebody else. So keep it going, keep it pushing. And know a year from now, you're going to be like, oh my God, look at where we are. And there'll be more testimonies that will be shared. So on that note, thank you all for joining us. And we hope to see you next month. Bye-bye now.
Thank you.